And let's hear from you as we get into a conversation with Honorable Idowu Adejumoke Senbanjo. She is the first female executive chairman of Apapa local government. She's with us right here in the studio, and we welcome her in a big way. Good morning.
Good morning.
And
Good morning,
welcome.
Lagos.
Yes, welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
Critical to the development of Nigeria, more so with the directive of the judgment from the court, which says now they are fully empowered. They can no longer be prevented. When that directive came up, how did you feel about it?
Having the autonomy, the local governments can do more, and we can actually reach out and have more developments in our local governments. But I feel that there's a lot to put in place before it can actually happen. For us in Lagos, I don't think the autonomy thing will make much of a difference.
Why is that?
Because most of us get our allocations and we have a free hand to do what we want to do. So it would not impede us from further development. Comparing Lagos State with other local governments in Nigeria, we've gone far. There are things that local governments in Lagos State are doing that some states haven't even done. So when we have full autonomy, I think that the sky's the limit for us.
Okay, so you say that in Lagos it's a bit different because you get your allocations. Okay, so when you look at Lagos, for example, and when you look at the Nigeria at large, and you're talking about local governments, do we have capacities within a local government to provide the kind of development that the people need?
Yes, we do. With the crop of local government chairmen we have today in Lagos, I mean, go from one local government to the other and you would see the kind of developments that we have. With time, things will change, but people are beginning to know that they have to serve people. The question of just coming and sitting down and being a local government chairman without doing something that can reach the people is over. Your people will question you, and they would ask what is going on if you don't do anything. So I think, yes, we have the capacity to develop Lagos.
All right, we'll come into your local government real quickly. But before I get to your local government and specifics projects that you're doing, when you look at Nigeria and you look at let's say the presidency on one hand, the local government chairman on the other hand, to the average individual Nigerian, not the collective, which do you think is more plays a more pivotal role in the life of the Nigerian?
The local government chairman. Because we're closest to the people and we interact more with the people than the president of the country or even the governor of the country, of a state. So the local government chairmen are the ones who interact more with the people.
All right, so that means you agree that for development to happen in Nigeria, we need very functional local
governments, yes. Very functional. And the caliber of people who go into governance at the local government level is key. As I said, we're fortunate in Lagos State that this time around we have especially our chair of chair who has led us well. And we have a good crop of people who are doing fantastic things in their local governments. So, yes, we can do it.
Okay, so let's come to you. This is your first term in office?
Yes, my first term.
All right. And since you got into office, when you were getting into office, what was your plan? What did you want to achieve? What made you decide to run for office?
Wow, that's a big one. Um, I looked around me and I saw that the degradation in Apapa was alarming. I've lived in Apapa for so many years, and it wasn't like this before. There was this particular day I went jogging. I went for my walk in the morning, and I had to go through the Queen's Barrack because it was raining. I had to cut my journey short. And what I saw there it upset me for days, and it was there that, the formation and the degradation and all the things that were not right in Apapa dawned on me. And when the opportunity came, I said, well, let me go for it.
All right. And so since you got into office, what has changed?
I can tell you for sure, Apapa is much cleaner, more organized than it used to be before, although we still have more work to do. And I've had good assistance from the state, other authorities within the state to help in cleaning up and cleaning up. One major thing I think we need to do is a major orientation with our people so that they understand what the environmental issues around them are. Most of them take it very lightly, and so far as long they're selling or they're trading, it really doesn't matter.
Okay.
But I'm hoping that we would get there.
All right. And then when you talk of Apapa local government, you have different local governments bordering it. But what is the coverage? What are the areas that Apapa local government extends to?
From Tinkan Island.
Okay.
If you know Tinkan Island very well, just as you descend the bridge, the coconut area.
Yes.
Immediately you descend the bridge all the way back into Apapa. You have the Tinkan Island port. You have the Lagos port, and it extends all the way to Ido Bridge. Just before you ascend Ido Bridge, on the right hand side. The left hand side is Lagos mainland. The right hand side is Apapa local government. And then when you go back, you have Ijora, and it's just Ijora Oloba. And then you also have, it extends up to Mobile Road by the railway tracks. Okay. So all that way inwards is Apapa local government.
And when one looks at that, it brings to mind Ikoyi, and the question is, what development do we need in that area? It's already developed, beautiful houses, the roads are okay.
In Apapa, as you rightly have noticed, we don't have land to build, but renovating and rebuilding the structures that we have. As of today, if we're doing any road, we're actually doing a major reconstruction with gutters that are covered instead of the open gutters that we used to have before. And because of the water level in Apapa, the building and the stones, we use paving stones, is we need to get, really firm, strong paving stones and things like that to do. There are some structures that belong to the local government that we have to rebuild and redevelop because over the years they are dilapidated and things like that, which we hope to develop. Our schools, which we have done a lot in restructuring the schools.
Okay.
We've been able to clean out all the toilets and put in new toilets in all our schools. We have re-roofed our schools. We've put in new furniture. We've painted the place. So for infrastructure on schools, we've done, things like that for that.
All right. So I'm very particular about the schools because I believe that basic education, preschool, that is key to the development in any local government. You talk about remodeling of school buildings. You in that area and in other infrastructural areas. Let's see what you've done with that. How has that improved? Do you know how many schools, for example, have you been able to remodel or reposition, and you're paying? What are you doing to assist people in your area who are not able to probably afford certain basic educational facilities or benefits?
Okay, for us in Apapa, our schools, we have 7 primary schools, and what we have done so far, we give them uniforms, we buy school shoes for our students.
Mm-hmm.
We've provided them with educational facilities such as books. In most schools, you have situations where 3 children are entitled to a set of textbooks. But in my local government, it's 1 child per set of textbooks. There's no point in sharing or anything. And every year we give them a set of exercise books to go with whatever it is they're doing. We have 10 exercise books each for each student. I would like to do more, and I'm hoping that with my She agenda, my She Plus agenda for next year, when I come in, sorry, not next year, when I come in at the middle of the year, there are certain gaps that we see or that I've noticed between the private schools and secondary schools. Now, what are those gaps? The state government is spending so much on training teachers, but is there anybody monitoring those teachers to get them to do what they're supposed to do? Now, the kind of training that they have, some private schools don't have that benefit. But what is missing? So those are things that we need to bridge that gap to see what we can do to improve the standard of schools in Apapa. For me, I'm fortunate that I don't have so many schools. So the numbers that I have, it's easy for me. It will be easy for me to manage. We're talking to consultants now who are going to come in. They have looked at, the gaps, and we're going to see how we can
fill the gaps,
bridge those gaps to give the children a better education.
Do you have?
Sorry, just before.
Okay.
Before, by the time you're in primary 3, each child must be able to read properly, to read and understand. Because, once you can read and understand, you have a good foundation with your education to read. The sky is the limit. There's nothing you won't understand, and it's easier for you to, assimilate whatever it is that you're studying.
All right. And do you have plans of, you said you have about 7 primary schools?
Yes.
Is that adequate for your area, or are there plans to build more, or you want to leverage more on the private institution or private schools?
Well, there isn't the space for that. And when you talk about residential accommodation in Apapa, we don't have as many as much as other local government areas, because Apapa is more commercial.
One key thing that businesses are concerned about is safety. So how safe is Apapa?
Apapa, like every other place in Lagos, Nigeria, is safe. Today, we have been able to tackle the gridlock. You can drive. It's easier for you to come into Apapa than to drive to Lekki, or you say you are going to Aja or any of all these places.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You can drive in and out of Apapa at ease. In my administration, what we did with the traffic, in terms of traffic management, we were able to get the trailers off the streets. Now, how did we do that? Most of the good boys and people actually used to collect tolls.
When you say good boys?
The good boys.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I think my listeners don't understand.
They actually collect tolls on the street, on the road from the trailers. It's real big business for them. Real and good business. But they were the ones actually encouraging the trailers and the trucks to park on the road. It was a big battle, but I've been able to win them over to see that having to do this is destructive to the economy of Apapa. Now, when you say the trailers are blocking the road, the federal government and the state government have done what they have to do. But we as a local authority, we had to put our foot down to ensure anybody that is collecting tolls is collecting it illegally. It is they're not collecting
I was
on
just going
behalf.
to ask that. Okay.
Yes, there's still, you will still have those that will try, but they're all illegal people collecting those tolls. We don't give authorization for anybody to collect tolls. Now that has driven down the numbers of trailers and trucks that park on the road. So for me, people can drive in and out of Apapa at will. And it goes both ways. On the Tinkan axis, which used to take, hours or days to be able to get in or out of Apapa. Today, it's a fly in and fly out. Going to the airport from Apapa, you're 20 minutes.
At the airport?
Yes, you're at the airport.
All right. So part of the basic needs of residents within a local government area. All right. So, basic needs is that people need water, people need, of course, you're not in charge of electricity, but people need to have a good life. What are the economic opportunities that exist in Apapa or that you've created in Apapa that has made life better for Nigerians or residents there?
We have, first and foremost, the traffic. That has been a huge, huge success.
Okay.
And it's helping to open up the economy of Apapa. People can come back. I would say that a lot of companies have moved out of Apapa, and even residents. Apapa is a shadow of itself, what it used to be before. If you go along Creek Road, most of the companies have moved out.
Because of the traffic?
Because of the traffic. If you go along the Wharf Road, the same thing. Even in the GRE where people live, most of the houses are abandoned. The number of houses that we have that are empty are more than houses that people are living in. It's alarming, yes. Wow. And unfortunately for us, they are packed with people that shouldn't be in those sort of places.
Okay.
So these are things that we're working on to get them out, to make Apapa safer. In terms of water, we don't have water in Apapa as everywhere else in Lagos, but we're able to work with some companies to revamp the mini waterworks. We were able to get it revamped, but we also realized that there's a phase 2 to this, which is the verticalization in Apapa.
I was going to ask about that, yeah.
Now, the mini waterworks is working, is in operation, but we can't pump water because as we're pumping, most of the pipes are expired and they are broken. So, as it is, we still don't have water. But we're working on that, and we're talking to some private companies to see how we can have do a PPP venture thing with the state government, water corporation, and us. So
okay, as we bring this home, while speaking earlier on, you made mention of She Plus projects. Can you touch on that briefly?
We are going to be emphasizing more on the regeneration of the economy of Apapa. The economy of Apapa, we need to encourage more people to come in. We need more businesses to come in. We need, we need to improve our environment. As of today, we are actually speaking with the Federal Ministry of Works. We're trying to, under the bridge, the Apapa Marine Beach Bridge, we want to convert that into a central bus station where, because Apapa is quite central, when you're talking in terms of going to Badagry, Oshodi, Lagos, Surulere, and the rest. Yes, so we need, in that axis, they don't have a central bus station. So we are planning to use that space as a central bus station. We've sent our proposals and things out, and we're just waiting to get the feedback a positive feedback from
Mm-hmm.
the Minister of Minister of Works,
Okay.
so that they can give us
Can
the
they go
place.
ahead? Yeah.
They can give. Although the past administration did, when Mr. Fashola was there,
Okay.
he had approved that we go ahead. But unfortunately, the new minister felt that there are other things that had to do. So that has stalled the project so far.
Yeah.
But these are things that, yes, we are going to do, in my second term.
Mm-hmm.
We also have organizing Apapa in a better way, especially for buses. We have bus routes.
All
We have established our bus routes, building bus stops all over the place.
Okay.
Our buses and the transport workers, the transport drivers are working with us.
Yeah.
We've had in-depth talks with them, and majority of them are ready to convert their buses to CNG, which will drive the cost of transportation in Apapa.